very forceful later in the game because her team fighting is extremely powerful as well as possible side laning.
I actually really like it in this spot specifically because they banned Lee Sin. So you get a little bit of value of not having to play against Lee Sin, which can be troublesome for Akali sometimes because Lee Sin has so many ways to reveal you. And also, typically they're good on the same team, but obviously on the blue side, you can't get both. You have to pick one. So I like the little setup there for C9, but does seem like already Nocturne picked up there for EG, and this is likely lane Nocturne, right? We've seen some jungle, but it is definitely a triple flex.
Yep, especially if they lock it in with Kindred.
Yep,
even though we did have the Cloud9 game of the Kindred mid from Perkz, don't think that Jiizuke would want to pick that one up. I would say also for Jiizuke, he might be thinking about the LeBlanc as well. If you're talking about, chains to reveal Akali within the Shroud, burst damage, we saw effectively utilized against the champion. Varus going to quickly follow it up there from the bottom lane for King. And honestly, the state's still of Varus, especially into these Senna lanes that want to generally have Tahm Kench on them. It is a good takeaway. And there you go. They take away the River King. So your most ideal pairing there for the Senna, not going to be available. Thresh is still available as a little bit of safety.
We'll see. Thresh definitely pairs with those kinds of champions. Xin, though, continuing to be very popular. So even without the enchanters available, I think Xin is a perfectly good jungler. So EG are going to take that for themselves here. That is most likely Svenskeren's pick. I don't think there's been any teams that moved it around, but at this point in the game, I am happy to be surprised every time I enter a champ select. Phase 2 for EG, though, still ticking down the clock. Where are we targeting? Because bot lane's already picked on the C9 side, so looks like Fudge might lose some picks. Blaber also a target. Gonna lose Olaf here.
For Cloud9, I think they definitely need to target some of these AP solo laners because they're so heavily indexed into attack damage right now. And Tahm Kench definitely could build easily into that. So Gragas is one. I'm very curious if Perkz actually, if they're just relying on the flexibility of Akali to be able to flex it up to top lane to Fudge, if they're not really worried about that LeBlanc pick at all, because that has been one of the premier ones used to try and punish the Akali early pre-6, work with your jungler, push her in, go make the opponent jungler's life hell, and then also, being able to make those big picks. So, okay, there. They finally did do the LeBlanc. Save it a little bit till later, but that is definitely one of the easiest bans versus it, because EG definitely need a little bit of AP threats.
Yeah, of note, Renekton in the second ban there for EG, but otherwise, pretty much as expected here is EG will show Galio. I've seen this as support only, I believe, so far this split, but obviously can be played in mid lane if you want to take it there.
Very good with Nocturne. So some good synergy here for EG. Super long range, a couple of cross-map abilities they can get picks off with. It's generally really fun to pair these types of things or enchanters with a Xin Zhao jungle, because Xin Zhao jungle gets priority very early versus a lot of other matchups, and you want to go try and duel people or force 2v2 skirmishes. And if you have solo laners of Galio and Nocturne, or if it is a support as well, then you got a lot more threat, and you get to really play off that power curve of the champion and kind of make it work later on into the game.
All right, well, it looks like Sett is the pick here for Senna. It's going to be one of their solo lanes, most likely. In fact, with Tahm Kench picked, it's effectively guaranteed. And it looks like Blaber needs a champion, is going to be Volibear. So very mobile, very divey topside here for Cloud9.
Yeah, and a jungler that can actually go toe-to-toe as far as some of those early ganks. Volibear definitely going to have a little bit of beef factor as well. So as they swap the Sett up into top lane to go handle the Nocturne, and the Galio does end up at support with Jiizuke's classic Ryze, baby. We'll see if he's able to get enough of some early aggression there on the Akali pre-6 to try and open up some moves with Svenskeren. Because I really feel like EG, they're sitting at 12-12 right now. They have had some really high highs. They have had some games slipping through their fingers where they've had these really good leads and were unable to complete it. If they're able to really build on the Jiizuke Svenskeren synergy there, I feel like a lot more of these will come home for them.
I have to think so. It really does feel like consistency more than anything else for EG. Cloud9, definitely a rocky start, but has been pretty consistent so far, but definitely a tough opponent here in Evil Geniuses. So feels like, things have shifted a little bit, but this is definitely familiar as far as these picks.
Not what I wanted Patriot. I wanted way cooler picks than these. Okay, I wanted way more extreme. You know, just divine sunders everywhere, all over the place.
That might still happen.
Yeah, that might still happen. You know, well, okay, we'll bide our time though. Wait until further into the day. Some more surprises may lie in wait. But yeah, Cloud9 kind of on a tear here recently. So 17-7. Definitely going to be very difficult for EG.
Yeah, and of course, mid lane going to be a fun one to watch, as expected. Perkz on the very flashy Akali to kick off the weekend, whereas Jiizuke has, in some ways, Old Faithful, Ryze, back there in the mid lane. Definitely can take over a game, especially a side lane, if he does get things going.
Yeah, definitely have to be wary of the assassination potential, but side lane play is greatly accelerated by the fact that you have Ryze ultimate, Nocturne ultimate, Galio ultimate. So it's a very clear kind of mid game there for EG, where they want to try and snowball some early tower kills to open up that map so they can start spreading the map around, and then use these very long range ultimates to find their picks. Mostly off of the point of Zhao, who should be the aggressor, getting in there for some deep vision and then trying to force on the cooldown timers of his solo laner ultimates.
No surprises here either. And as a reminder, I spoke about mid lane. It's something you want to watch, you can. Even deeper there, it is the free Pro View matchup for this game. Every single game has one free Pro View lane, and this time it's mid lane. Like I said, already a very fun one to watch, so go ahead and enjoy that.
Yeah, I know.
On your other screen.
I know. Especially Jiizuke's Pro Views become very popular.
Oh yes.
You get some comedy with it as well, some trash
tragedy.
talk. You know, it's got a lot of twists and turns in there. We shall see. EG though, they're actually giving a very strong leash to the Zhao, really trying to set Svenskeren up for success here. Not really a surprise with how their comp is set up, but it is going to mean that his path is going to be accelerated here. You see him already starting the comp very quickly, and we can track if he's going to actually skip camps to get off the early top lane gank, level 3, or if he just goes with the you know, standard power clear. You definitely can continue clearing very easily on Jiizuke. Has no problems, you know, ever since the changes to the W with doing normal full clears, but definitely has some possibilities to start to get aggressive, and looks like should just be clean on full blue quadrant.
Big brawl actually on top side, but mid's also having a little bit of a struggle. Jiizuke did a really nice job crashing his big wave. So Perkz is playing catch up both in XP and in minions, and Jiizuke is harassing him because, you know, that's how you play the matchup.
And you really want to keep a track of the clock as well, because at your Scuttle Crab spawn, when you have Ryze and Nocturne both pushing their lanes towards top side, and it being a bottom quadrant start for both junglers, Svenskeren should be able to finish red and get over to the Scuttle Crab and have his laners priority here. Blaber's here first, but Svenskeren's definitely got that as a very high priority here for the first jungle you know, objective for him to go for.
Oh, so dangerous. Blaber already spotted, and of course we know Jiizuke's got prio. So now Blaber going to have to go ahead and fight here, but he's actually winning right now, but Jiizuke's going to make it very uneven. Blaber in trouble. He already gets the first blood, though. He's straight up 1v1 Svenskeren.
So the error there was walking into the into the E from Volibear. You cannot just take that damage lightly, and now it's going to be
flash
for
left.
pain.
There it is again. Blaber finds the stun. Damages their exhaust down. Perkz not going to follow. Again, lots of melee champions as Vulcan's a little too low. But they're going to have to get out of here. Impact actually trying to take down Blaber. Gets the buff transfer. High value TP there out of Impact.
Yeah, Impact able to cover there. Pushing up top lane as well. Gets the double buffs and is going to be able to recall for another reset. Maybe gets an extra longsword on top of the first one that he purchased there. Svenskeren right back out onto the map. But yeah, once you see the Storm Call come down from Volibear, walking into it there, a little bit of extra damage, and Blaber showcases the early power of Volibear just in the heads up one-on-one. Could have taken a little bit slower there for Svenskeren, since he knows he has very early move from his mid laner. As we were talking about setting up the jungle objectives, both solo laners for EG pushing, so they should have full control, but he walks right into it. You know, the Stormcaller falls on top of him, shield for Blaber, plus the big chunk of damage onto Sven. And then that means even though Jiizuke had first move, they can't get the early punish.
Power press the attack there, being shown off in the replay as Fudge forced a flash here in top lane. Does have the XP advantage thanks to Impact's TP, but losing that trade means he's probably going back home. Although he does have the TP to come back. Impact, of course, already used his mid, as we saw in the last exchange. There's a lot of action around this bottom side Scuttle here. Blaber at it again with Vulcan.
This is going to be a big one.
Svenskeren going in. Perkz here as well. 3v3 right now, but there is actually the Devour onto Blaber to keep him safe. The taunt is good, though, out of Ignar. But here comes Varus, finds the Q Svenskeren. The target Perkz forced to flash away, and Svenskeren rides back in, gets an easy second kill there for the Galio. And now it's going to be Vulcan for the third as Danny claims it. Now Ignar finds the flash, Justice Punch, and King. There's just nowhere to go. No summoners, no Tahm Kench as Fudge somehow solo killed. Impact on the other side, but King's going to die here as Danny's going to claim it. And now the teleports roll in out of Cloud9, but Perkz, he's got to go home.
Yeah, it means nothing because Svenskeren's still there, and Pastry, we have to say it. I'm sorry. We have to say it, though. But the Scuttle Crab strikes again for Cloud9. It took him a while, but the Scuttle Crab followed Cloud9 back from MSI. This one is a bottom river fight over it. And even with the River King himself, Vulcan there on the Tahm Kench, they don't have the vision. They don't have the early priority on the river. EG, a beautiful collapse in here. And Ignar sets up so much for them. Here's what went on as we missed it during that fight in the river on top side.
All the cost creeps.
Good kite there from Impact off of the shield, but Fudge then can just run him down. Fully stacked Conquer, and just the end of the clap back right there pulls him in. Once again, takes down the double buffs, and so now we continue. King of the Hill double buff style here. Those two double buffs have lived quite a long life in this game. Now Fudge will be able to carry on the legacy.
See if they get past 10 minutes or not here. As Impact does roam into this jungle, but not going to spot Blaber here. He's finished up the Grump. Impact, though, clearly having fun in the lane despite getting solo killed. Seems to have the priorities. So EG staying very active, which is nice to see. You mentioned it already, but Ignar's last play there alongside Danny, definitely a big reason why the gold lead is almost 2K up for Evil Geniuses.
And you know, mentioning the Conquer there for Fudge, look, the difference in some of these runes actually also means the difference in some of the early skirmishes. Generally, Zhao will also be Hail of Blades early on for you know, the quick 3 auto attacks for your knockup. But since Svenskeren is Conqueror and Blaber had the press the attack, that extra burst damage was another additive factor of that early first blood. Here's a look on top side, though, as Svenskeren waiting patiently.
Jiizuke is level 7 now. It does have the option to Realm Warp away. Actually very healthily up in CS as well. 20 up for Ryze is nice, but now that Perkz has also got his ultimate ready at level 6, the next Scuttle Crab fight could look different for Cloud9 here, but they are going to have to play from behind. EG's early game looking nice with Ignar being active alongside his jungler and mid laner.
Yeah, honestly, the farm Galio, ooh, doesn't quite get the that one there, but farm Galio looking pretty good. A beefier Galio coming from your support bottom side there, being able to farm alongside the Senna, definitely bodes well because Ignar loves to be a frontline support player and is going to be a big critical part of how the EG composition comes together towards the mid game. Let's see if Svenskeren gets very aggressive again. They do have the ult.
Yeah, he's level 5 here. Sven and Blaber's just like devouring him. Perkz goes in. Easy kill there, but now a 2v3 erupts as Perkz has to get himself out of there. Blast plant is there, but Ignar with the interrupt is nice, but Perkz dashing out there, but still gets caught as Jiizuke. He's able to find it.
So they do have the ult from Ignar, but it's a little bit early once again. You know, this confidence, maybe some small fixes on the communication as far as the actual range, because there was not an instant Galio ultimate there with the range from Ignar, and so Svenskeren, once again, with EG having, you know, all these tools, all these cards set up, much like the early game where they had the extra numbers advantage, he gets jumped on, and they rush him down, so good execution by Cloud9 to actually get that kill before the Galio ultimate comes in, but not going to be able to get out afterwards as Perkz does get hit with the Blast Cone. Nice kill there over to Jiizuke, feeding this Ryze. And with the early upgrade Sork shoes, as well as just ticking away on the tier here for Jiizuke, starting to open up some options for one of the big star players there on EG.
Yeah, I like the aggressive boots there for Jiizuke. Realm Warp in, Nocturne ulti is so good! And now Blaber's finally going to get a taste of his own medicine. Svenskeren going to claim it.
And that's the playbook, PastryTime, using these global ultimates with an aggressive position for Zhao. And we're going to have another one. Vulcan wants that blue!
He's eating it. Oh, he gets it to King, but can he get out safely? Exhaust Impact.
Alley-oop.
Yeah, nice little transfer there. And EG going to walk away. Still 5 people topside, so Rift Herald on the menu.
I love it. Tahm Kench, the best jungle defender coming from the support role there. Does save their blue buff. EG will still be able to ride this mid-game momentum, though, immediately transferring over to this Rift Herald. And number one thing we stated from Champ Select, here we go though, Cloud9 trying to collapse.
Ignar again finds 2. King is one of them. Perkz also on the sidelines as Vulcan already getting burst down. Perkz dives in, but Svenskeren is taking out Vulcan. King though still fighting. Svenskeren low, but not dead as Impact's able to take him out. And now Perkz just nowhere good to go. It's EG all the way.
They had no teleport there from Fudge, so Sett in mid lane trying to walk over for Cloud9. It's another massacre here as EG just continue to rack up the gold. They do stop off on the Rift Herald and go for the resets, but the extra kills going over further funding this. And look at the bottom lane, racking up these bounties for EG. It is Danny, youngest player now in the LCS, alongside his Fed support Ignar, and Ignar doesn't hesitate. As soon as they see him walk up here, he charges right into taunt range, gets 2 of them, locks up the opening here, and with Senna ultimate over the top as well, you can play this so aggressively. King just walks right into Nocturne range there, so Impact able to get his Fear Tether off on him. And while Svenskeren does go down again, you know, as the, again, pressure point for this comp, and we're talking about how aggressively you want to play this inside when you have so many global ultimates and backups here. It's continually these sacrifices.
It's the bait, and it's working.
Are willing to play. Honestly, they don't have to make it in all these cases. Some of them a little bit, timing issue, a little bit rushed, but that one there definitely worth it as far as forcing the rest of the kills.
All right, well, Ignar is evolving to Ignar. 3-0-5 for this Galio. Actually has the highest amount of kills on his team. That's when he finally gets to farm a support.
Oh, yeah.
Chance come off, he's ready.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different animal there. Because Ignar ultimate is ready again, and guess what? He's also got Flash Ignite. So you know he's just itching to make a play. You already see them. They're looking for a little bit of more deep vision. It's been quite shallow for EG thus far, and they've just been relying on the power of their bodies moving into the river and playing off the threat of their ultimates. Now they're trying to set it up with a little bit more deep vision. And that Rift Herald that we mentioned, the important task of taking down your outer towers so you have more room to work with and get those picks. That's going to be accomplished with the most important tower on the map, mid.
Yeah, credit to Jiizuke there. Does flash the flash face breaker, but Blaber is here. Nocturne's here as well. The slam is good enough, though. Now a 3v2 for Cloud9. But again, Impact pretty strong alongside Sven. Here's Ignar, though. That's the big problem. It's still a 3v3 as Impact easily finishes off Fudge.
Yep, and this is definitely a dragon timing. Ignar might have to get out of there.
Ignar again, though, just goes straight in. Kobe, what do you mean? He doesn't have to get out of anywhere. Svenskeren trying to finish off Vulcan will indeed do so as Perkz just trying to dance around the front line, but it's too beefy for this little assassin right now. Perkz gonna have to get out over the wall with the second charge of the ulti.
Summoner's Rift is in the evil genius territory, Pastry. They're not gonna stop either. Easily solo the dragon while taking down some turret plates.
Perkz, yeah, just don't stand there. Good flash. He's back in. Perkz is going for it here. C9 trying to find some counterplay. Impact tanking the tower too long. I take it all back. Perkz finds the angle. Svenskeren is busy with the Ocean Dragon. He's going to get it, though.
He did not want tower aggro there. Impact did not want to grab that one. And then, okay, well, we see the stop here. That's going to be about it. Scuttle Crab pickup there for Svenskeren. Honestly, still a pretty nice snowball there for EG, keeping up the pace. A little bit late into the game to start dragon stacking, but again, their focus is getting down these towers.
Yeah, 4,000 gold ahead and climbing. As they look to put some pressure on this bottom outer. Instead, Danny and Ignar are going to go ahead and take a base. So Cloud9 do have some catching up to do here, but Fudge will attend to the minions while the dual lane has left.
And it's very difficult for them to do the catching up right now. They probably need Perkz to actually finish his mythic first. On Akali, is level 9 is usually the goal, but a little bit too far behind in gold so far for Cloud9 to remain competitive in a lot of these skirmishes, and so they send him right back out to top lane, try and solo farm this lane with the support of, you see Vulcan on the Tahm Kench hovering behind him. They know that's a little bit too dangerous to overextend there, so they've got the extra members here around to just allow Perkz to get that money so he can finish up.
Also have a look at the EG items right now. Mythics adorn the first row of every single champion in the game.
Yes, sir. And when you got CS numbers like Jiizuke does, it makes it very easy to to actually bring that money bag down on your opponent's head. 140 CS there for Jiizuke. Is going to be able to clean up a lot of these side lanes as well. See if Perkz is quick enough on the dodge. Definitely.
Whoop, there's Vulcan and Blaber. Surprise! Svenskeren there pops the ulti and leaves. Feels pretty good to be Zhao sometimes.
Yeah, they got some vision of the early rotation from EG up through the river, so that's why they don't want to stick around to finish off the Zhao. Good CD blown, though.
Fudge an impact and a friend. Fudge now in a 2v1. He doesn't want to be in. Impact still fighting it up, but Fudge making it happen. There's the Senna ulti from downtown, though. Impact shuts off the lights and kills him with a Q. Nice little play there from EG.
Yeah, good job there from Impact. He's learned his lesson, able to kite out the ends of the duel there with Sett. And Jiizuke, once again, this is going to be a very fed Ryze. Teleports right in there, does get the assist. Meanwhile, with the mid tower down, it makes it so hard for Cloud9 to continue with these rotations. It's so much more dangerous now for them, as the Nocturne and Galio ultimates have actually been cycling. So EG still keeping one of those semi-globals in their pockets most of the time. That was teleport from Jiizuke, still has his Realm Warp. It's just really good use here of the extra distance that they can traverse on the map and keeping up the pressure with these aggressive plays. Svenskeren on the Zhao does have his flash up. Ultimate will be coming up soon again as well, so they can continue to try and force, while gaining the extra minions kind of passively there.
You're only going to get better for Jiizuke as well. Side lanes are opened up. He's got Luden's Plowshare for a bit of farming in those side lanes as well. So EG definitely in full control here. Still no towers for Cloud9. EG have already taken the most challenging one to get, which is in Mig with that Herald. And they can play for another Herald shortly if they want, but working on the top outer for now. Again, EG, especially with those globals like you mentioned, Kobe, able to cycle them back and forth. Always an option here for counterplay. Cloud9 going to have to really overload something in order to make a play, most likely.
Yeah, and they don't have any teleports to work with. So during this timing window, Cloud9 are just kind of trying to play some defense and trying to catch minion waves. When their teleports become available, they will have options of trying to channel those early, but remember, you have to channel them very early, because if Impact blocks with a Nocturne ultimate before EG start the play, you can't play catch-up. 1 second behind means that you are not going to be able to join this fight, and EG will already have killed a member of your team before you show up. So timing is really critical here for Cloud9 if they want to make this comeback.
See the respect here for Cloud9, like not walking too far forward, respecting that EG own the river right now. Perkz is bottom side trying to wrap onto Jiizuke. Tahm Kench here as well, Realm Warp out though. And Perkz just going to let him go.
Again, all these rotations easily seen. Wards through the jungle, deep here from EG. And they're just buying their time, waiting for the extra neutral objectives to spawn. Last outer turret there should fall very easily to the hands of Impact, while they simultaneously pick up this Rift Herald. And they're not giving up any extra comeback material to Cloud9. But that timer we talked about, it's just been weighted out here by Cloud9. Teleport from Fudge comes up in a few seconds, and then they'll actually have that option to try and work their way through one of these comeback fights. It's definitely still going to be difficult, and they would love to have King there first, landing a little bit of poke. You know, this dragon's about to spawn, so might be a little late for this one.
Yeah, down approaching 6,000 gold in this early game. EG have done such a good job here of keeping the snowball going. And now Svenskeren will finish off the Drake. No need for Cloud9 to walk near there, as Blaber and Perkz trying to set up another play in the brush.
And Pastry, this is why people love EG as a team. You know, Live Evil, the social marketing definitely went a long way, but it plays right into how they play League of Legends as well. They've had so many explosive games. Nice little shout out there to the hover by Svenskeren. He just hovers around to make sure Jiizuke can get the last remnants of that wave. Oh, but after his jungler's gone, still flirting with death here.
He sensed something. Jiizuke actually even checking brushes here. Svenskeren gonna face check this one.
Coordination. Coordination for EG. Jiizuke doesn't show himself until Svenskeren comes right back down. But back to the point, EG, they've had so many explosive games, and a lot of the losses have come at their own hands of things that they can correct. So here, them coming out versus Cloud9, dominating early game. it's again, pressure on them. Ball is in their court to actually make good on it. Teleport from C9.
Yeah, here comes Cloud9. Tao already dead. Perkz a little low. Root's not going to connect though, but Perkz trying to dance around Svenskeren. Blaber already onto Jiizuke though, but here comes the Galio. Blaber forced to go into stasis, and here comes Fudge finally around the backside as Svenskeren does take out Blaber. Fudge still battling though, gets the W, but it's not enough to get a kill as Perkz looks to kite it out. A great Q finally grabs the kill for Cloud9 as King will claim one, but Ignar still chasing in. Realm Warp as well. Flying in through the rift as Vulcan has devoured Perkz for a little bit of extra safety. And sure, only a couple kills there, 2 for 1 for EG, but they got 2 towers out of it as well.
And again, Ignar on this support. Galio is creating so much for this Evil Genius team. Splitting the comp, so many defensives here afforded by him. Ultimate coming down, protecting Jiizuke, allowing Jiizuke to kite back out so that Fudge can't get back in there and finish off that kill. Keeping this 215 CS Ryze up in the team fight is critical. Then Ignar goes in, zones the whole front line with the big taunt for himself. And let's take another look. Teleport being channeled there, so they're getting circled in on, but they stay grouped up. And you see Ignar coming down through the jungle. Frontline retreats with the Zhao ultimate while Nocturne ultimate is up, and Ignar peels the backline for them, so that then Jiizuke can get away with his flash. Ignar's back in. He's zoning 3 people as the support Galio, while the rest of EG finish it up. And it would have been a deathless fight there if not for King and the execution on his Varus arrow. Taps the W there, able to get the extra damage and finish off at least 1 counter kill for Cloud9. But EG, very good job forcing this one ahead, keeping up that pace. Rift held on bottom side and turning that one deep into C9 territory, opening up an exposed inhibitor.
Yeah, I mean, look, King's trying, right? Got the most damage in the team fight, almost 3k, but Ignar's just too big. 309 now for this Galio. Has the moon pants and the chain vest alongside the chem tank, so he's very speedy as well. Kind of like offensive Shirley's battle song, I guess. Perkz trying to go onto Impact here, but running out of options. Goes into the Shroud, lights her out though. Impact is chilling. Oh, Perkz looks for it, but Impact with the flash already. King also getting aggressed up, but now Fudge is going to kick Svenskeren out of the fight as Vulcan is going to fall. Perkz will fall as well to Jiizuke, and Cloud9 just 2 splits to try and find a pick there.
Oh, and Impact had such a good flash on Perkz' R2 from Akali, avoiding death up there right next to Danny, and getting 2 kills here means EG will be rewarded with Bear and PastryTime. You want to keep up the pace of the game. This is how you do it. EG looking like they're going to bring this one home versus Cloud9. So many games thus far in summer. They've fumbled towards the end, but this one looks like they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, 9,500 gold ahead right now with more to come from the Red Bull Baron buff. And just don't think C9's towers are going to last the night at this point. Just going to have to tuck in and, I don't know, find something, because EG have given you very little. They comp has so many good ways to...
I don't know if this is what you want to find.
Yeah, look, Blaber, I do appreciate trying to get something, but the red buff perhaps not that valuable. Impact's going to chase him down. Strikebreaker's on. Fear is there. Ignar's in. And Blaber's out with the ulti and the blast cone. But, yeah, he's okay.
He's okay for now. Cooldown burn there for the ultimate. Should be able to try and play defensively inside towers, but with Baron buff, it means EG, they don't have to stop, so immediately knocking down mid. They've already got top pushing as well, so they can just rotate over, and there will be no secondary turrets left here. So much gold raked in by EG, and all they have to do is lie in wait. Perkz does have his ultimate available, no flash this time around. Maybe he can make some magic, trying to pull off this assassination play there in the back line, but it's just so hard now with the giant gold lead that EG have accrued. They can easily just transition and play it safer, picking up Dragon number 3 for their sole point. No reason to go for a tower dive when they have so many champions that are so good at playing the wide map with how open it is.
All right, well, they do have bottom broken already from the play before the last one, so didn't need to siege that, but with a minute 20 left on Baron, they are going to take this Infernal Drake instead. They actually have gotten themselves to a point where they can get the soul, despite how late the first Drake was taken. The EG, I think, decided they'd done enough damage. Again, they're already so far ahead. They've got a couple stopwatches for some safety. on both Impact and Danny, and EG will just push down bottom lane with their Baron buff. Try and break this inhibitor as kind of the final bit of Baron power.
Yeah, you sound like you're getting a little relaxed there, PastryTime. This is evil geniuses, okay? Stay on the edge of your seat, because at any time, the big play could come through going either way. Honestly, a good job here by EG cleaning out any flank wards, no teleport wards behind them this time around for Cloud9 to get in there. They've been a lot more cautious this time around. You know, see it in little things like Svenskeren hovering around behind Jiizuke, helping him clear out, minion waves, and not overextending in some of these circumstances where we have seen some cracks open up in the past. Yes, it is definitely a lot easier to do that when you have Galio and Nocturne ultimates to be able to cover people from long distances, but I really want to applaud the coordination from this team that has gotten them here to the steps of the Cloud9 base. Now that's all that's left, is just take that final step right inside, finish off the inhibitors.
Well, definitely a great looking game for EG so far. Fudge trying to find something, but now getting wrapped up here again. Galio will answer. Impact already into the back line. And now Fudge, looking low, does die at the hands of Impact, and now Sven diving in onto Blaber. Danny following up as Perkz is already dead to Jiizuke. EG just make it look so easy, Kobe, as Jiizuke grabs himself a double. Ignar taunts too, but Vulcan with a lightning quick devour will temporarily save his AD as King eats way too much damage out of Ryze in the fountain. And EG just gonna waltz on in and finish off this game, Kobe. They look so good to kick off week 3.
Yes, sirree. All for one for all. EG, everybody at the Nexus, can they pick up the ace?
Oh no, all right, the minions came with them, it's fine. There is the ace to finish off and the Nexus to boot. It's evil geniuses all the way.
All 5 of them there. They finish off the ace. They realm warp into the fountain in true evil geniuses fashion. And this is what you get when you pack all of these players onto the same team with a similar mentality, all forward, looking for the aggressive play. You draft them champions that can cover a lot of these cross-map plays and embolden players like Svenskeren, like Jiizuke, to make those very aggressive, deep plays. And with the early success that they got, EG did a very good job snowballing. They covered in some of those mid-game areas where sometimes they would leave openings for other teams. They did not leave that open for Cloud9. Very well executed there. A special shout outs to Ignar on the support Galio there with the Senna. Love that combination, getting a little bit more fed, a little bit more beefy, allowing him to make some of those plays. And want to shout out Empire as well, as far as the interview he gave, talking about the differences between last year when they had this period where they benched Jiizuke and they had to kind of reflect on how to reincorporate the mentality and the player in this team is all willing to make these aggressive plays, and this is what it looks like. It's definitely exciting when it all comes together.
Yeah, I mean, Jiizuke had 1 death that game, right? Even in games he wins.
And the bottom lane had 0 deaths for the most of it.
I think all of it, actually. I don't think they died.
Check the tapes. I don't think they died. Is this real life?
I think
Has
so.
science gone too far?